Hey guys, this is Midget and welcome to another episode of my Walking Dead reviews. Today we're reviewing episode 8 of season 5 and it's called Coda. Okay, so this episode was very eventful. It was a good mid-season finale, don't get me wrong. It was one of the best mid-season finales, probably behind season 4 I think it was, with the governor. Or was that season 3? I can't remember. I'm just too shell-shocked at what happened in the last couple of minutes. I was just fangirling so hard. It starts off with like Rick chasing Lamson or Lawson. I still don't know his name. Sorry, there's a fly. He starts chasing this dude and he tells him to stop when he gets into a car. And he doesn't stop, obviously, as you can tell. And so Rick hits him with the car. And he like hits him in the legs, and he like face plants the floor, and you can see that obviously he's cracked his skull or something, because you can see the fact that he obviously he's on the floor with a load of blood spattered from his head. And Rick said, well, he said to Rick that that he thinks that Rick broke his spine, and Rick was like, good, blah blah blah. They got into this little mini argument, and yeah, Henrik just shot him, I guess. There's not much more to say. Then Gabriel gets to a place, this is after the break, the first break. Gabriel gets to a place where Gareth was eating Bob, and he gets mad. Some pictures of, or a Bible or something, gets mad, and the walkers finally, according to Gareth's predictions, broke through the glass. So it took quite a while. I guess it was kind of like a week or two, or 3 even. In the Walking Dead days, in my opinion, at least. It wouldn't, yeah, something along those lines, in my opinion, anyway. But the walkers that were chasing Gabriel, because now obviously he did something, yeah, he put a nail through his leg, didn't he, for his foot, in the last episode, so they started following him back to the church, and Carl and Michonne let him back in the church, and then they have to escape, because obviously the walkers are there, so they escape. And they come in from behind, which sounds just absolutely wrong. But they come in from behind and, you know, start wiping out the walkers, or just wait outside. But Rick's hostages make a lying plan, like they say, that you can't tell Dawn that Lamson died by Rick, otherwise she won't say it's a fair deal, blah blah blah. And you have to say he died, so he sort of believes that plan. And Beth and Dawn have a civilized conversation for one time, which I didn't actually think would happen, you know what I mean, because Dawn gradually got better. As you see at the start, she's obviously hitting Beth and like really weird, and then towards the end she's really sort of nice. I wouldn't say nice, but you know what I mean, a bit more caring now for Beth. And just as like shit's hitting the fan basically at the church, the truck from Washington come back and just plant the truck into the front of the church so no walkers can get out. And Michonne breaks the Beth news to Maggie, who's absolutely, you know, over the moon. It's funny saying she's over the moon and later on she's crying, but nevertheless she's over the moon. And Dawn gets into a confrontation with a fellow policeman. I forgot what his name was. O'Donnell. You know, he's like, she's about to shoot him because he was going to spread the stuff she was talking to Beth about. And then they got into this mini fight, and she eventually got beaten up basically, and until she like punched him in his windpipe or something. She just like karate chopped his neck or something, I don't even know, and he couldn't breathe, and Beth pushed him down the elevator, which was kind of cool to see, because there's loads of action, you know what I mean. I'm not just this Walking Dead viewer that only cares about the action. Obviously I love character development and all, but the action was very good in the first break at least. Then we have a second break, and in the second break I didn't really think much happened. It's not that much happened. I think the second break was really short, correct me if I'm wrong, but literally all I have written down is that Carol, you know, after Beth is like crying and all that, and Dawn walks in with like a bit of whiskey. She has a little conversation with Beth that wasn't even worth talking about. Tyrese starts talking to Sasha about like, the Martin dude, the one he apparently was meant to kill with Carol but never got to do that and stuff. That's all I remember. And then Rick has the plan with the 2 officers, which I don't think it took that long. I mean, I think this is one of the shortest breaks, or the shortest bits between a break we ever had. I didn't know whether it was normal, it just like time flew for me, or literally it was very short, because they just as Tyrese told Sasha about Martin, like I said, they tell Rick the police, Daryl tells Rick that the police car is coming, and Rick has a plan with the two officers that come and waits for them and makes a plan about the exchange. Basically, he says, we have 2 of your men and you have 2 of ours, so give us our men back, basically. And they're like, drop your gun, and it was really cool. And just about as they're not going to believe him, I guess, I think they were going to shoot him, a walker pops out and he goes, I have men with me, and Sasha kills the walker. So he's like, the dude, the black dude, he's like, he's there like with his gun, he's looking around to see where the sniper shot came from, but he cannot find her. Cannot find Sasha, which I found really weird, because I'm sure they were on a rooftop, and on the rooftop they weren't there, you know what I mean? When the camera pointed up there, I was like, this surely up there. I mean, yeah, you could see them, that they were looking straight down them. I mean, how blind would you be to not see people? Like, if you're looking over here, they're like high up, yes, but you would be able to see them. So how they weren't there, I think, is just a director error, but whatever, it's still a very good show. I'm not just going to judge it on one little mistake. But yeah, then that's the second break. So now going into the last break, Rick gets into the hospital finally, while Beth puts scissors in the like cast, I think it's called, yeah, cast, and it's really awkward because everyone gets together in this little tiny, thin, shallow hallway thing, and the exchange is happening, and Dawn's group all pointing their guns, and Rick just looks through the door like, hello, it's really funny. And what happened was that Dawn put all the guns down and told Rick to have all his guns down as well, and Dawn, the exchange is happening basically 1 man for 1 man, and basically I was thinking, how long can this go on for? Because I mean, it wasn't very hard to do it, but Dawn then just like when the exchange happens fully, she wants Noah, and Noah is willing to sacrifice himself for the group, as Beth sacrificed her before for Noah. And then like Beth hugs Noah, and I mean, I'm not saying anything, but I do think she brought it up on herself, because she could have lived, Beth. I mean, she dies because she stabs Dawn in the like neck. I don't know if it was in a capillary, which would obviously kill her. I think it probably would have been, but it's just kind of weird, why would she do that? It's kind of a pointless death on her behalf. But nevertheless, Beth gets headshotted by Death. I think it would be, Beth had like Dawn had a gun there and just shot her in the head, and no, it might have actually not been. Well, it was her. To be fair, it was her, because she shoots her. Then Daryl goes like full rampage, like loses his mind, and like just pushes in front of Rick, pulls out his revolver, and headshots, full on headshots. We get to see all the like splatter and everything. It was really cool. We get to see her get headshotted, but in slow motion she was like. And I was like, yeah, it was you. Shut up, you bitch. It was, it was kind of really funny. But yeah, so she gets headshotted, and the truck group, basically, from Washington, and including the church group, arrive at the Grady Memorial. However, it's too late, and we just basically get to see like Maggie walking up there. It all focuses on Maggie, and she's there when Rick's coming out. She's there like trying to smile a bit. She's like. And then Rick's just, saying no, and obviously Daryl, proper sad and crying. He brings Beth out, deceased and all, he's just on her arms, and Maggie collapses and she cries like she did with Herschel. So Maggie's basically lost everything now. I mean, she's not got anything left. She's lost her mum, she's lost her dad, she's lost her family, including Beth, obviously. And now all she practically has is that group, and most importantly Glenn, which I think is a favourite to die this season. Not because he's had much character development, but there was just a load of speculation that he's still in the comics and all this, so obviously he could die. But nevertheless, that was basically all I got. So this was an amazing episode, I thought. A lot of action and a lot of character development, especially from Dawn and Beth in this episode, which I obviously love character development. I also loved how she hit the fan pretty fast, and out of basically nothing, Beth started a little spark that just went out of hand, you know what I mean? I just love how quick it was at the end. You know, you think it's all done and dusted, and you think you can turn off the TV, and then just bam, it just all changes. So I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10 because it was an absolutely exhilarating episode, kept me on the edge of my seat. And yes, let's go into like the questions, but just before, this was after the credits. If you guys turned off, you'd probably be pissed because Morgan arrives at the same place where Gabriel was like a couple of hours ago before this, I guess. You know, proper, you know, he walks over and looks at the same pictures Gabriel was looking at, which was kind of cool. And then he also arrives at the church, which is weird. You know, he's there, you know, like setting all this stuff out, maybe thinking this is his new home for a couple of days at least. And then he picks up a map and he like starts reading it, and it just says Rick Grimes underlined, and he's there, you know, like this. And then he goes, so does he remember Rick? That obviously he remembers Rick, because he goes like, but what will he do? So now this is a question. So first I'll get on to, there's a specific question about that, so I'm just gonna go straight into questions now. What will happen to Noah? I couldn't remember him coming out of the thingy. In fact, could you? I don't know if he came out of the Grady Memorial thing. I don't think he did. He might have done, but I'm 60% sure he didn't. I cannot remember. I don't think he came out of the Grady Memorial Centre, but he did try to persuade the group to stay after Beth's death. He went, this is better than going outside, so I think he might stay in there, but I don't know. It would be nice having him back, you know what I mean, because he's a lovely chap, I guess, full homo. And will the others follow from Grady Memorial? Obviously, no. We don't think that, but they might. They might make like a civilization like we had at the prison, you know, of all those people. We might see that, but that's basically all. And who will the villains be of the next half season? I do not know. Hopefully we do not see Negan, because it's too early. My opinion, it's not like I read the comics, but I've just seen a load of reviews by loads of people, and basically loads of questions about the comics, so I've got a brief idea of what the comics are about and what happens in them. So we probably definitely won't see Negan. We'll probably see the group go to Alexandria, and maybe see the Leatherfaces, but that again might not even happen because I don't know what happens in the comics and how it happens. I've just heard that the Leatherfaces are like villains, so we might see them, why not? But the most interesting questions, I guess, will Morgan wait for Rick, which I think he will. He'll wait there, if not just scout around the place and be in the bushes or something. But the main questions, will he wait for him with open or closed hands? Which means, will he be friendly to him, or will he be very aggressive towards him and hostile? So obviously he did blame Rick because he's lost his mind. Basically, he's lost Dwight, I think it was, Dwayne, I think it was Dwayne. He lost that kid, and remember in Clear, the episode in season 3, I believe it was now, I think so, he forgets all about Rick, so he might not remember him. He might remember him, but he might not. And also Rick didn't, you know, he completely lost track of him with his little walkie-talkie thingy, so he might be angry about that, but he's probably not. He's probably going to welcome with open hands, and we're going to see Lenny James as a full-on season regular, because he's an amazing actor. I mean, I loved him since episode 1. He's really serious, and he's just a really good actor, so I'd love to see him on the show. But anyway, guys, that was basically my review for the episode Coda. And if you did really enjoy this episode, might hit the like button below. And yeah, so that's basically it. But just before I go, I want to ask you guys what videos you want to see through the mid-season breaks. I've got till February. Obviously the videos won't be coming out, so I'll have no videos left pretty much. I could make a half mid-season finale death predictions, so mid-season death predictions for next season. I could also make some random topic videos. If you guys want to comment some topics or anything, I could make them. But anyway, guys, that was basically it from me. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode, guys. If you did, make sure to give this episode a like. And you said this is Midget. I'm going to see you guys later. Peace out.